It's the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Prime Time.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Commanders trot to the field for their first possession, and it's the 7th-year quarterback out of North Dakota State leading the way. His third NFL team, Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz and the Washington Commanders are hoping to provide stability for each other starting in 2022. It's the third team in 3 years for Wentz and the fourth starter in 4 years for Washington. The big thing with Wentz has always been staying on the field. And last season in Indianapolis, he played a full 17 games, leading the Colts to a 9-8 record and almost into the playoffs.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called a big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Winston's throw complete there to Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Well, they told us that he was just going to be a bear to defend, and usually tight ends are, Charles, but he's no exception to that rule. His second catch of the opening possession, and it gets him a first down.
Yeah, and they certainly saw something on his earlier reception. He went back and reported what he found. And one of the things about him, he's like a wide receiver to me, Brandon. He has a great sense of space and understanding where defenders are.
Now, we talk all the time, Charles, and it kind of gets cliche about the hands that he has, but really it's the truth. They're, for a tight end, some of the best hands in the game. On second down, here's Gibson again. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 27-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Into the red zone, Wentz.
A throw left side caught here by the tight end Bates.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. Wentz. This is caught. Touchdown.
Jahan Dotson on the receiving end for Carson Wentz. And the Commanders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
The underdog here is showing no fear. Great opening drive.
Now, we weren't in the locker room for the pregame speech, but I will guarantee you, somewhere along the way, the head coach said, let's just grab a big stick and smack them with it and let them know we're going to be here today. They may be the team that's supposed to be superior, but we're not backing down to anyone.
And on the road, no less, setting the tone.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts got the green light as a starter from the Philly organization and took really good steps as the next in line of mobile quarterbacks in the city, following names like Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb, and Randall Cunningham. He led the team in all quarterbacks in the NFL in rushing, and he took Philadelphia to the postseason while throwing for over 3,000 yards.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Another run here with Sanders. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the chains, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now second quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
46 yards rushing for him on their opening drive of the contest, and it's now 1st and goal.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Sanders will take this one in for an Eagles touchdown. So he had a nice run to get him down there. Was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, "Get me out," after the run down to the end zone. He said, "I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in." And he carries it across the goal line.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watched the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7, or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, the ball never hits the ground there either.
It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Meanwhile, Wentz is thrown into the hands of McLaurin.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Wentz finding McLaurin there for the Commanders first.
Not to take him for granted, but it was business as usual for Terry McLaurin, up over 1,000 yards for the 2nd straight year. Now he gets to work with Carson Wentz in Washington and may be the best receiver Wentz has had to throw to in his entire 7-year career. That connection yields a first down with that throw.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now Wentz again. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
And sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. Defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
There's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he finds McLaurin. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 21. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Wentz now on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fighting them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep the...
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
Kaiser White, the former safety, gets the sack. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And it'll be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive.
They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Here's Wentz to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes.
And the Commanders have moved out in front. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one.
And that's a great job of tackling right there. If he could have made the first man miss, maybe he could have taken it into the end zone. Instead, they stopped him pretty well right in his tracks, and you often see that in the red zone. Offense has to be quick. In this case, the defense was quicker.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up first and goal. They'll run with Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Miles Sanders with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Eagles are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play and actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
The Commanders back out late in this first half. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here.
On first down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
This time they stay on the ground, and they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away.
Called out a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
This is intercepted. Picked up by Bobby McCain. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BJ, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. And in a tie ball game, they've got to be asking themselves, what can we do to get this passing game on track for the second half to come? Meanwhile, for the Eagles, we get a look at their numbers on the ground in that first half, as they'll be looking to rev things up here in a tie ball game.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll go again with Sanders. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jonathan Allen able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
Jonathan Allen had a very nice season for Washington in 2021 with 9 sacks and his first career Pro Bowl nod. He continues to be a valuable centerpiece for that defensive line.
Well, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. The Eagles send out their punter now as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Wentz now to throw. Middle of the... Now the ball comes loose. But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game.
challenge flag making an appearance. Doug Peterson not liking what he saw there.
Previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is
So Doug Peterson successful there on the challenge, throwing out the flag, a good call. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Tressway now, standing just about on his own goal line. And taken right at the 35. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10.
This offense returns to the field, and the former Penn State star Miles Sanders, we're going to look at him.
He is hoping to find the end zone for a 3rd time, and we sit now in the 3rd quarter.
And nothing would excite him more, but I think even more so, his offensive line. Anytime you've got a guy scoring that many times, that means you've done a really nice job in front of him.
We're always giving props to the big fellas up front.
It's always a good idea. Those are some massive men.
And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
37 yards on the punt with no return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. 6 yards there on the keeper at 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Winston Johnson, your connection there for the Commander first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Pretty straightforward play there by the linebacker. He saw the run, went with straight-ahead pursuit, and dumped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Washington on 3rd down.
They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing now is Wentz. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. T.J. Edwards. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Even keeping the back in for extra protection on 3rd down, they still could prevent the sack. Now it's 4th and long thanks to a terrific individual effort on defense.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. He's going to field this at the 4. An excellent return that time, 26 yards.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. From the gun, it's Hurts.
And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Up the middle they go with Sanders.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie.
Second and 6.
Another run with Sanders. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
103 yards on the ground for him now as he's gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Sanders on 1st down, not finding much of anything there as he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the question now, can they get closer on 3rd down? A field goal from here, you're looking at right about a 52-yarder.
Hurts. Going across the middle, and Goddard's got it.
Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. And that's a touchdown as they break another tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Elliott on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. That time, a 9-play drive, and it's capped off by the late touchdown. It's a 7-point lead here in the final minute of the game. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
So, Wentz and the Commanders
down 21-14, a little under a minute to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz to throw.
Got McKissick.
He's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up defensively. You pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure, and if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback, and then make sure you blanket the field.
And he'll be out of bounds as he does pick up a 1st down here with exactly a half a minute to go.
Now Wentz. There again is Thomas. They've gone to him a lot. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go band of brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Wentz. And his ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance, and let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road, want to win it right now?
Well, win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
Don't forget the extra point, it's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
So a potential big play by this defense wiped out by the face mask.
And disappointing because it was so unnecessary. They had the sack. But the officials are definitely keeping a close eye on the quarterback, especially the referee. They were able to spot that one immediately.
On 1st down, Hurts. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the first chance of this overtime will go to Washington as we are back underway. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And everyone knows the OT rules, Charles, but pretty simple formula. They go down and get a field goal, we continue play, but if they can find the end zone on this possession, ball game over.
And as meticulously as all teams plan for a game, I don't doubt for a second on that offense coordinator's play sheet, he's got some overtime plays that he wants to run. I know it sounds crazy, but they plan for everything. 1st and 10 all the way throughout the game, 2nd and 7, whatever. Right now, he's looking at that play sheet saying, if we get to overtime, what can we break out that they haven't seen?
And they work this well upfield across the 45.
48 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
First throw of overtime for Wentz. Open man is Samuel, complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Dancing to his left.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Winston's throw complete there to Thomas.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. So he hooked up with a veteran there, and in overtime, that's not a bad idea. Go with the age and the experience.
Yeah, because sometimes the young guys, they give you the fresh legs and give you all that bounce. But in this type of a situation, sometimes his legs slow down a little bit as the enormity of the moment overwhelms them. The veteran guys, they tend to come through. Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
From the red zone now, Wentz.
Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch. And the Commanders have got a 1st and goal as he's out of bounds at the 4.
Shaping up to be a very efficient opening drive here in overtime.
And can you feel the tension building? Because I'm feeling it. All right, I've got the sweaty palms here with each play because of the enormity of what's going on. Each play means so much in overtime, and they're handling it well as this drive continues.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
And he is in for the score! And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness,
Hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line. Now a first throw here in overtime.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Throwing is Hurts.
Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
24 yards to gain there. Another first down as well. Here's Hurts to throw.
That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. That one goes for 30 yards. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense had got 2 timeouts. Maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heel.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Wentz gonna throw.
He's got McLaurin, and they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Complete to Terry McLaurin. It's a gain of 10. Washington first down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Wentz now on first down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Hassan Reddick, his second sack of the night. One overtime, how about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that second overtime in just a moment. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
They run the toss now with Gibson.
It's a room to maneuver. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
77 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A carry now for McKissick. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9.
A give up the middle to Gibson.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.